Happy New Year. First video of the new year. First day, the weather's been halfway decent. We got some sunshine today. It's a little later in the day than I usually get started. It's about 11 o'clock, but man, it's been so cold here lately. And you know, us guys here in Missouri, we're not used to this cold weather working in it. Now, when we left off up here last week, we were having problems with ice in the system here. And tomorrow we're supposed to have a really nice day, which it's nice today. It's a little warmer than they thought. It's about 28 degrees. They haven't had a day above freezing up here in the Sedalia area for quite a while. So we're gonna see if we can't kind of address the ice and the fuel system here, because we need to have a good day tomorrow to finish up this little job here. And I'm gonna get the skidder started, put some treatment stuff in the tank there, and let it cycle real good. Just let it run there for a while. Try to cycle that warm fuel from the engine, the return fuel, back into the tank, and hopefully make some progress on that. Then we're going to take the skid steer and go pile up some other logs, and we'll probably go ahead and start getting these logs here marked up and get them bucked so we can get them rode up and ready to sell, because we're gonna unload these Friday. That's why we need to have a good day tomorrow to finish up these few trees. And I had some other things I needed to do today, but I'd rather do this today, make sure everything's good to go here. That way we can have a good day tomorrow. No hitches or anything, no problems. So we'll probably have to hook the jumpers up to it. So I've pulled as close as I have. We'll hook the cables up to the skidder, disengage the hydraulic pump, and see if we can get this thing started up. Let it sit here and kind of warm and cycle that fuel through there. We got some of that diesel 911 to put in there. I know a lot of guys talk about getting number one diesel. In this part of Missouri, you can't get number one diesel here. It's not sold to the pumps nowhere that I know of. I was talking to some guys this morning at coffee about number one diesel, and yeah, you can't get that stuff here. We're too far south to really have to worry about that cold weather like a lot of you guys up north get. So we'll see if we can get this thing started. We're gonna let it run, cycle everything real good, let it run for a couple hours, and we're gonna go pile some logs, come back, mark these, probably buck some of them. So let's get on with that. Now, the old girl, she fired right up, didn't have to hook the cables to it. Man, disengaging that hydraulic pump, it helps a lot in this cold weather. And I gave her a couple sneezes of ether before I tried starting it up, and she really started up pretty good. And I've got the hand throttle set up a little bit to kind of turn a little more RPMs. I've got the door open. The filter looks good, that new filter. It doesn't look like there's any ice or any particles or bad stuff in it, from the naked eye anyway. So we're going to let her sit there and run. And, let's see if the old cat, how she likes this cooler weather. Oh yeah, armrest. All the safety features. Gotta love all that. Let her do her thing there. Let's give her. Oh yeah. It's cold don't mean nothing to the old cat. Of course, being 30 some years newer probably has a lot to do with it also. We'll go sit in the truck for a little bit, let this old girl warm up. Yeah, let her warm up real good. I can't say enough good things about how valuable that little machine has been to our operation this fall. I wish we'd have pulled the trigger on a new one years ago. And like with anything, buying a new piece of equipment, it's a big commitment. I mean, it's a huge commitment. It really is. And if we didn't stay busy like we are all the time, there's no way we could do it. We just couldn't do it. We couldn't justify having it. But luckily, we're fortunate enough that we've got a great clientele basis, and we stay busy all the time. We're very fortunate with that. A lot of it's, I mean, we work all the time too. 6-7 days a week. We work every chance we get. I mean, that's a lot of it right there. That's, if we didn't do that, we couldn't have it. Couldn't have it. So let's let it warm up. Pretty good bunch of walnut. Pretty good bunch. We still got some real good ones to cut. I think there's 6 or 7 trees left to cut on the job down there, but I'm gonna have to pull a couple of them, push on a few of them. I want that thing to be running like it should, none of that spitting, sputtering, hacking, and gagging stuff. So let's let everything warm up. We'll jump the truck here, then we'll go stack some logs. Well, we started to go move the logs on a skid steer here, and we didn't make it very far, and it went to spitting and sputtering. So it died on us twice, and got it started, and kind of eased it on back down here, and dumped a bottle of 911 in it too. And you know, we were only reading about half a tank of diesel on here. I dumped the whole bottle in there. I don't take any chances. In the grand scheme of things, that stuff's pretty cheap, so we'll just dump her all in there. And nothing worse than fighting ice and fuel systems. It's not something we have to deal with every winter, but we've dealt with it a lot before, and it's a headache and a hassle. The bad thing about the skid steers, when it died, I can't flip the camera around or I'd show you. When it died, I had the boom up a little bit, and on these cats, the boom's got to be down to open the door, and I was like, boy, I hope I'm not stuck in here in this lady's driveway. Because I'd hate to pop the back window out just to get out, but that's the escape route right there. If something goes wrong, you just rip the cord here and away you go. But that was the last thing I wanted to do, but it started back up, so we'll idle it up here a little bit with the hand throttle, kind of circulate that stuff, and hopefully we don't have any hitches. Like I said, it just makes for long days when you got to deal with this stuff. That's why I come up here today, is to get it all out of the way, take care of all this stuff. That way tomorrow we can work no problem. So we'll see if this will help, and we'll see if we can go move these logs. All right. Now maybe this will work, maybe this won't work, so we'll see. This will kind of give you an idea what it's like when I stack logs in the skid steer, kind of an up-close view. I've got my gloves holding the phone against the door handle, where it should be fairly stable, as well as we can hope for anyway. That's what we got. Whoops, get along there. Now we're just stacking these up, getting them out of the field, that way the truck can sit in one spot and load. I don't like that. There we go. Things have got to be a certain way. I get pretty OCD about that kind of stuff. Heavy to the one side, but they're staying on there. Maybe they'll stay on there until we get over here and put them in the pile. Steady as she goes. There we go. This is, like I said, I like stacking the logs for a couple reasons. For one, they're out of the way. I mean, they're not taking up all this room. Not that the grass is growing anyway this time of year, but it doesn't help with any for these logs to lay on it for long periods of time. Like I said, the trucks appreciate it because they can set one place, load everything. That ugly double up there. There he goes. He's staying up there. And the great thing about tracks is that if it starts to get a little muddy, you can still do this. With a wheeled machine, you would be just playing hell trying to get around, spinning. And I don't like the tracks that go with the tires. I don't like those at all. Honestly, if you're going to have a skid steer, CTL for logging. It needs to be on the tracks. I don't like that at all there either. Let's move on. Unfortunately, that's probably the best we're going to get that right there. Now, the thing you got to look at too is with these track machines, if you're trying to do minimal damage, you don't want to spin. You want to try to make big sweeping turns. You can do minimal damage. You're still gonna see that you've been there. At least, I mean, I can always tell just because I look at things like that. I always like to try to do as clean a job as possible. So I'm always looking at how bad the ground looks after I'm done. And even though it looks good to a lot of people, I mean, just driving by, you're gonna be like, man, I can't even tell much went on there. But I look at things like, man, I turned too hard there. I shouldn't have turned as hard. I should have made a wider sweeping turn. I got my forks into the ground. It's just a lot of little things. I've done this a time or two. Sometimes it's good to get 3, sometimes it's good to get 2, just depends on the size of the logs where you want to put them. Like this time we just grabbed 2 logs. Like I said, I could make this a lot quicker, but we're trying to make these wide turns and not spin. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Aggravating devil. Set him. Get in there, right there. Perfect. And I know some people are like, my gosh, what's the point in handling logs so many times? Well, if it was low grade stuff, you really couldn't justify doing it. But when you're working with walnut and there's a lot of money on the line for your client and you, everything is about presentation. Everything is about how the logs are laid out and presented. And this here, like I said, this is not a necessity. This is more or less just something I want to do, just kind of a favor to the landowner and the truck drivers. The last thing you want to do, you don't want to get on the truck driver's bad side. You want to stay on good terms with them, which is hard a lot of times. Trust me, it is. This heater, this cat's one way or the other. It's either hot or cold. Flip that up there. We can grab 3. Sometimes I wish I had a longer set of forks. Oh boy, got her off balance. She's starting to rock on me. Aggravating thing. See if we can take it on up there anyway. That'll work. We can make that work. I want them logs tight. I don't want a lot of slack. There we go. Got 3 in that time. Cleanup is essential. I mean, you want to try to leave a job site as clean as possible, as neat as possible. It's nearly, I mean, it's not ever, I don't want to say it's going to be better than when you started, but you can at least do a harvest and make things look good when you're done with your harvest. The main thing is to, a lot of people have this idea that when they go and have a piece of timber log, it's going to look like a bomb went off. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I always try to tell people that, yeah, it's going to change the landscape of the land. It really is. Because anytime you're cutting trees, bringing heavy equipment in to do it, things are going to change. But I try to cut my tops up a little bit to make them lay flatter. Of course, in areas like this, we try to keep all the tops out of the fields. We want to do a clean, neat job. The last thing anybody does when they sell, I mean, nobody wants the mess any more than they're going to have anyway. There we go. Shift gears here. Back to this original pile. See if I can get 3. Skid steer's kind of getting sluggish. See, that ice and water, they play heck on you. Let's see, we'll just here. There we go. See if we can scoot him in a little bit. Pretty good there. Watch out for that stuff. Kind of knocked our camera off angle there a little bit. You gotta watch out for that stuff. The camera keeps wanting to move on us there. We don't want that. She's wanting to move on us. See if we can fix that up again. Maybe. Maybe. Like I said, this is a new technique I'm trying here today to ensure that we can video and while we're working. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Try to get this first row finished up over here. This backup camera's nice in this thing, just for things like this, I know that. Get up there, get up there. logs in a hurry when they're laid out like this. Which, once again, if we're not too worried about ground disturbance, you can really make this thing run good too. I mean, you can either run the throttle with your foot like I usually do. Oh, don't you do that. Don't you do that. There we go. Or you can use the hand throttle. Like I said, if you're not too worried about ground disturbance, I think we got it figured out this time. I think it cut you off, or cut me off a minute ago when I was talking, but we've about got done with this pile. It's looking pretty good. I kind of like how the camera's staying there now that, of course, now that I'm back to filming and talking, it'll probably fall. That never fails. Never fails. Another thing I want to touch on, in the last couple of weeks, I've had people approach me wanting to come look at their timber, bid on it, and they have reached out to me. The forest, they've had it marked by foresters. Now the foresters don't reach out to me very much anymore, and that's because of my own doing. And I've declined both times to look at the timber. And generally, if there's a forester involved, I won't look at it. I really won't. And I have my reasons for that, and I'll discuss a few of those reasons right now. A few foresters down here, I used to go look at their bids quite often, and they got to complaining because a lot of people weren't bidding on their timber anymore. Well, and the reason being is because they were doing what I call juicing the bids. They were putting down on paper more footage and a better quality of timber than what was actually there. Well, you know, you got guys like me, and there's a few of us out there, you know, here in the area. But we're super busy all the time. We are. I mean, when we go 2 or 3.5 hours, 4 hours away to look at a job of timber on paper that we're already bidding against it, it needs to be worth our while. And it just got to where they were wasting our times. And I finally I blew up. I'd had enough. And I hope they're watching. Honestly, I don't care if they are. I'm not going to say all the choice words I said, but it all come down to me saying that they're better off keeping their 32 cents for a stamp than wasting my time going to bid on their timber. And all they're doing is costing the landowner time and money. And I really believe that. I honestly do. That's why, like here in Missouri, we've got the professional timber harvesters courses. And especially with the master loggers or certified loggers, you guys that are landowners that are thinking of having a timber sale, I'm not telling you to do one thing or another. I'm really not. But I'm not a very firm believer in having a forester involved. Find a reputable logging company and just tell them what you're looking to do. Go over a timber evaluation or a timber harvest plan and kind of get an idea of what you're looking to do and talk with them about it. And I honestly think in the long run you'll come out better, because you're paying that forester for his time, and all he is a middleman or a broker. That's all it comes down to. He's taking a cut of your money, your timber, just to line up people to bid on it. And then you got loggers like me, guys. I've got a set of rates. I've got a permanent set of rates that I use all the time. I don't work for nothing, and the way I look at it, there's an old saying: cheap work isn't quality, and quality work isn't cheap. Now that goes to hold true, because I don't get every track of timber I look at, but I'm not going to work for nothing. But at the same time, you know what you're going to get when you've got me logging your timber. I've got enough people to vouch for my work and the quality of work we do, and I put everything on YouTube on video, the type of work you see us doing. And I'm not going to go out there and beat myself, get in a bidding war and dollar myself to death. I'm going to do the best job I can do on every track of timber I come to. And I'm not a firm believer in foresters. I'm not saying they're all bad, but I knew that was going to happen. I haven't had much good things to say about them and how they conduct their business. I really don't. Especially some of these guys that, the thing about it is, you get some of these guys that they might know trees, but they don't know logging. They don't know the logging side of the business. That's fine and dandy if they've got their degrees from MU and forestry. Awesome. As far as I'm concerned, you've got a high dollar piece of paper is all you've got. You can ID some trees. But when it comes to logging, the logistics of logging, timber harvesting and management, you don't know the first thing about it. That's something that comes over time and experience. So that's just my take on that. Like I said, I've had a few guys reach out to me here. Actually, one this morning, he actually come to me in person, the gentleman did, about wanting to know if I'd come look at some timber. Honestly, I'm not interested in it. I'm really not. Talk to a couple, get 2 or 3 reputable loggers. Make sure they're state certified. Make sure they carry all the proper credentials and insurances, certifications. Aggravating thing. We're going to get him up there. I'm going to put him right where I wanted him. Right there. Let's back up and we'll have a look at the whole pile. Looks pretty good. Pretty good old road up there. Like I said, you can't even really tell we've been here and decked logs here. It's clean, it's neat. Minimal ground disturbance. And that's how it should be. That is how it should be right there. I've got another pile over here on the other side. I'll get slicked up real quick and we'll go back to the skidder. Well, that's it for today. I'm just sitting here. Skidder's been running a couple hours, kind of let everything cycle through. We're going to go ahead and shut it down. I'm going to head on home. Tomorrow we'll try to get this job finished up here at Sedalia. This job we're on anyway. We've got another one after this, at least one. So we'll try to get these fused trees here finished up tomorrow, get them wrapped up, and we'll buck everything, get them laid out to where we're ready to go to sale Friday. Skid steer ran great after beard hair. Skid steer ran great after we got the put the diesel 911 in it. Let it cycle through the fuel. Hopefully the 548 will do the same. I've had the door open. I've had the sun beating down on the filter too, just that extra little bit, you know. Every little bit helps. So if the sun can help us out a little bit on heating that fuel and stuff up, we'll let it help. Every bit it'll help us. So tomorrow we'll be back in the woods. Friday be back up here. Saturday I've scheduled a look at timber. So they're calling for rain this weekend. Hopefully that won't affect us too much, but hopefully things are going to be right back on track to be back into logging quite a bit since this cold snap's about over. Like I said, us Missouri folk, we're not used to the cold like a lot of you guys are. The coldest I've seen, I think we had -8 one morning, which that's pretty cold for this part of the country. I think the coldest I remember ever seeing it here in southwest Missouri a couple years ago, I think we had like -13. I think that's right, -13, -14. So that's pretty cold for us. But guys, thanks a lot. Thanks for all the support on Logger Threads. Got some the newest image, the fuel. A lot of you guys are on the email list. You'll be getting the email about the new image, the fuel. You'll have the first chance to buy it before the general public will. So we've got the fuel coming out. We've also got one called the Killer, Tree Killer, but we've got one called the Killer coming out. So be on the watch for that too. Like I said, if you've bought from us before or left your email address, the website, you guys always get first notifications about sales, promos, and new designs that come out. So it's perks of being with that. Thank you for all the continued support from all over the world. We've shipped shirts, literally. We have shipped shirts all over the world. We've shipped our apparel everywhere. All over different countries, both hemispheres, top, bottom, we've been there. All 4 hemispheres, actually. So, we've been there. It's pretty cool. So, guys, we're going to get off here. Once again, thank you so much. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I know it's been like 5-6 days since we put a video out, but that'll all change here now. We're back to trying to get back in the woods every day. So Thanks a lot. Follow some of our social media outlets. You can follow Logger Threads on Instagram and Facebook, Timber Tracker on Instagram and Facebook, and Turner Logging on Instagram, Facebook, and of course right here on YouTube. Guys, thanks a lot. We will see you tomorrow.